So I'm always asked, how do you vectorize an image? Well, what I want to do is provide a very quick video that shows you this. So the first thing you need is your image, and I've gone into Google and I've Googled snowman black and white. And the reason why I've put black and white on the end is because they are the best images to vectorize. You cannot vectorize a photograph. So here's my image. Right click and paste here after copying it. You can see the image comes in and it's a little bit big. So if I zoom out using the tools here, I can resize that. If I hold down my shift key while I resize it, I can resize it without stretching it. Zoom back in again. Now you can see a bit more what we're doing. If I then go to bitmaps and go all the way down to the bottom of that pull down menu to vectorize bitmap and then click on it, I then want to go to monochrome. I can slide this luminescence bar around, which will make it darker or lighter depending on where I think is the best image. I click on OK. Click on custom settings. If it comes up with this bar, not all images do, then stick that to high. Not all of them have it, so don't worry if yours doesn't. And then click on OK. And that is your image vectorized. So now the program will recognize it. And what you can do is you can then go to the contour tool and click on that. If you change your contour spacing to 0, and then change your line color up here to custom color red, you can draw a contour or a line. It will do all the way around the outside. You can see that red line all the way around the outside. If I get my select tool and click on the snowman, you can see now what it's actually drawn. What I want to do is draw lots of different parts, so eventually I can laser cut it. So I'm going to undo last. You can only undo the last thing. You can't undo and undo and undo. It only lets you undo once. So that's something to remember. Going back to my contour tool. It's already set up to 0 now. My line's already red. And if I click inside the hat, inside the bobble, inside his nose, inside the scarf, inside the arms there, maybe on those bits there, maybe on those bits there, and then I move him away. So click on the select tool. It's a bit more difficult to select him now. There we go. You can tell I've got the actual drawing because it gives those little hatches on the dark parts. So I've got him now. I don't have his eyes or his mouth on there, but that's not a big problem. Now, if I was going to make this into a sticker, or I was going to make this into something to cut out on the laser cutter, what I can do is have that separate so that I would cut out of a white sticker or white material, and the same with that. Move his nose away and I do that in an orange. Move his scarf away, probably his buttons. So I'm basically going back to that outline that I had, but now I've got all the other parts of him as well, which I can cut out separately. And then once they're all cut out in the laser cutter or cut out on the sticker machine, I can then stick them back on to make him fully in different colors if I wanted to. The last thing you need to do before you send anything to the laser cutter or the sticker machine is something called nesting, which is where you get your work. And you can check here, that's gone pink, but this hasn't because they're not all together as one group. So you need to make sure that you select everything when you move it but your work, when you nest it, all goes together on the edge here. If you're cutting them all out at once, so you may be cutting this all out of one colour card to make something to vacuum form with, and you want them all together. So you can see it doesn't matter which way they come out when they're cut out. What it does matter though is being a bit more sustainable and saving materials. So the closer we can get them all together, the better it's going to be for the materials that we've got for you to use. I've only got a limited supply. Eventually, I'm afraid they run out. So the more we can conserve them, the better. So can you see that's all nested together a little bit better, so that I'm not wasting so much material. I could probably put this down here, maybe, and some of the hands up here, perhaps, to make it better. But I'm not going to make you sit there and watch it all. I hope that's been useful.